we turn the speedometer back to 1977, the year the show actually began. In those days, to eager young petrol heads, the TR6 was the coolest set of wheels on the block, and fashion was extremely groovy.
Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone.
It was a time when women walked tall in stacked wedges. Cutting-edge flares were a menace to small children and dogs. Shirt collars were capable of liftoff. And a velvet jacket wasn't just worn in private, it was in vogue. Just suppose we kept all that groovy gear in mothballs and the flash motor in mint condition. Well, back in the days when the Roadshow was sucking on its dummy, my TR6 was worth just over £1,300. Now it's worth £13,000, a good investment. And that's what today's Roadshow is all about, making a smart investment for the future, my son.
Now, I was around in the 1970s, and I think I was reasonably up to date, you know, fairly pacey. I never had an LED watch. I don't know why, it just never sort of grabbed me. But obviously it's grabbed you.
When I was a kid in the late 70s, my dad bought me a cheap LED watch that I used to overnight land of the bed sheets, pressing the button until it wore out, looking at the red LED glowing. But then I realised that, you know, with these watches, they are quite collectible, the early models. So
when did you start again?
Well, it was about 10 years ago. I bought a fashion magazine. I was flicking through the article, and there was a picture of an Omega LED watch, and I thought, I remember when I was a kid owning one of them watches, so I thought, it seems like a good thing to collect. So kind of started to go back as a kid and collecting them.
So you were going back to your childhood?
Yeah, I mean, just reminiscing, basically.
And so where does it start? Have you got it here?
Well, it starts there with the
Pulsar.
the Pulsar P1 that came out in early '72.
So everybody saw that and thought, God, we better make those.
Yeah.
So Omega do it, everybody else does it.
Yeah, soon after, the Omega was the first European LED watch.
Right.
But Pulsar was the first. I mean, that was very expensive back in the early 70s to buy.
So what would that cost then?
$2,100 in
God, so that's over, nearly £1,000.
Yeah, in 72 you would have...
Which is a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Now, when does it die out?
Around about 77, Pulsar closed because the LCD market took over.
Well, hang on, let's get this right. LED, LCD.
Yeah, light-emitting diode,
yes.
LED, LCD liquid crystal display, and the battery life was a lot longer, whereas the LEDs...
So this is a short period in watch history?
Yeah, 6 years, and it was pretty much done with, you know.
And then it's all over?
Then it was all over.
I mean, I must say, when I look at them now, I missed it at the time, like I missed quite a lot in the 70s, I think. But I can see now what it is. You know, it has a very, very strong statement about its period, about its time, and that's why they're collectible.
Yeah.
Because they have that wonderful resonance of when they were made.
Yeah.
Now, you wear them very much making a style statement.
Well, do you know what? It's not often I wear a watch because
what have you got on?
Oh, this one's this is a Gerard Perregaux side view LED watch. So.
That sounds expensive.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of the watches, you know, big watch companies did make the LEDs, and GP was a company that made them.
What do you pay for them now?
Well, I mean, the high-end ones. I mean, a lot of the P1 or the Tiffany & Co. calculators, they're very difficult to come by. So
this was $2,000 when it was new.
Yeah.
What is it now?
Well, if you was to find one in the box with the magnet, it's got a gold. It's gone as high as $17,500.
$17,000?
Yeah, $17,500.
So it really is the gold dust.
It is. The Pulsar P1 is.
But how many have you got?
Around about 85 watches.
And more to come?
Well, there's a few key pieces I want, but if they do come up for sale, there's a lot of collectors.
Does this cause domestic stress?
Well, she's got many pairs of shoes, so she can't complain.
Fair enough. Very good.
This is a bit more expensive.
This is a very important thing to tell the nation. Us men collectors have to fight back.
Yeah, exactly.
The only other thing I'd like to say is I think those are great. And Andrew Greener
yes.
was a fantastic 70s jeweller. He had a wonderful shop in Jermyn Street, I think, with a very stylish front. Disappeared, the style went out.
Yes.
So I think in 30 years' time, I don't know that I'd be collecting these watches, but I'd certainly be picking the ones by great designers.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.